Happy New Year! This is the first show of 2023. I'm so excited that God has given me the opportunity to use this platform for His glory. So today we want to talk about street life. Do you believe that God can use a bad person to do His will? I do. So stay tuned. We'll talk about it. Hello everybody, welcome to Fabulous. I'm your host, Angela Arrington. Thank you so much you guys for tuning in. Today I'm so excited. We have an awesome guest. I have my friend Arthur Didymus, better known as Kalvin Fleming. I have Kalvin with me today. How you doing?
How you doing today, Angela?
Glad to have you, glad to have you.
What's up, Fabulous Talk?
Yes, so we're excited today. We have a great topic for you. We want to talk about street life, right?
That's correct. That's correct.
Street life. I think both of us, we know a lot about the streets, right?
Yeah, and I want to first give God all praise and shout out to Ebony Dawns at Writer's Block Publication, because that's the person behind my creativity. And but I do concur with Angela on the fact that we know a lot about this type of situation.
Okay.
But with great knowledge comes great responsibilities. So knowing what we know, we're responsible for doing what we're doing right now.
Right, and we know through experience. Right. Sometimes, when you've walked that life, is better knowledge than even reading it in a book.
Really?
We can speak from experience. So first of all, I want to ask you, where did the name Arthur Didymus come from?
Okay, I'm a twin, and Arthur Didymus not Arthur Didymus, but Didymus itself is actually a term used to refer to one of the disciples, Thomas.
Okay.
And there were 2 or 3 reasons he was called Didymus, but the one that stood out to me was the fact that he resembled Jesus so much in his mannerisms. Mm-hmm. So the people around him started calling him Didymus, because Didymus is derivative from the term ditto, which means do over, repeat, stuff like that. And I use that in reference to the significance of me being a twin.
Oh,
so that's where that comes
that's
from.
awesome. That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
So let's talk a little bit about your book.
Oh, okay.
He has a new book out called The Street Conglomerate.
Street Conglomerate. And
so tell us a little bit about this book.
Okay, well, the title came to me because I watched several situations develop on the street during my tenure in the life. And
okay, what do you mean by?
Say, for instance, like
tenure in the life.
As I was living that particular life, being around gangbangers all day.
Yeah, let's tell it. Let's bring it out. That particular life is, say it.
It's just like, I don't want.
We gonna tell everybody, we're just gonna open up.
Yeah, and the reason I want to be 100 is because it's a lot of people living that lifestyle that really don't understand it. And I feel bad for those people, because that's a lifestyle that's really too serious for you to be playing with it.
Okay.
Right. It's people who should be saying these things to these people, gritty, 100. Because some of these guys where we come from and girls, they don't understand the language that we may have understand, being that we went further on and learned different things.
Right, because let me say that when I was out in the street, I didn't know what I was doing.
Right.
I thought I was just partying, having a great time until I got caught up. you know, and I didn't know how to handle it because I wasn't really a part of the street life.
Right.
But I was out there in the midst of it, not knowing what I actually was getting myself into.
And it's a shame because so many people are ingested by this lifestyle simply because they can't afford to live somewhere else. And now you know, imagine how different their life would have been had some of these people who can't afford not to live in the projects. Imagine how different their lives had been had they had a trust fund and never engaged this project type of stuff, you know. And that's not to condemn any of my people who can't afford certain types of living, but it's also I'm just here to give a hammer. I'm gonna give you a hammer.
Right.
If you feel like nailing a nail with a screwdriver, have at it. But I'm gonna hand you a hammer.
Right.
If you choose to use it or not.
Like the saying, I'm gonna give you a fishing rod instead of keep feeding you fish. Give you a fishing rod so that you can be taught how to fish for yourself and go out and get your own. And that's the same thing that you're saying.
Right. That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
Yes.
And as my effort to do my job, that's where this come from. The circumstances of this says stuff that a lot of people might read and say. Some might say I'm glorifying the lifestyle. Some might say it's gutter, you know. And I can respect all that stuff.
But it's the truth.
That's it. I can respect.
It's the truth. It's the truth.
It's the truth. This or it's to that, but it's true.
But it's true facts. It's true facts of the lifestyle of the streets.
Right.
And I like the fact that you made characters and you made a story out of it, but it's real life issues.
Right. Because we tend to, you know, especially us that come from that lifestyle, we tend to be drawn by some of the most superficial stuff. You know, for somebody to stand around, I've been in situations where guys standing around, you know how when we coming up, we stand in front of the store, you know, we smoking, drinking, and, you know, gambling or whatever we doing. And it's so many guys out there just standing around looking at them, listening to the stuff that's being said around you. Especially if you're able to think outside the box. Now, that's who this is for. I'm talking to the people who are able to think outside the box. You standing around listening to this kind of stuff. You standing around looking at these guys. But all along, you looking at stuff and you saying, man, that right there can make him $1 million. You know, I'll buy that. If I buy it for $2, it's somebody else on this planet that'll buy it for $2. It's probably another million people that'll buy it for $2. You know, so I look at these guys and I hear what they saying, and I can also hear what they're not saying. So
it's like I want to add on to that. For me, when I go and see them hanging out, I have compassion for, you know, the poor and the homeless, and I may go buy them something to eat or buy them a drink or something. But I never try to help them do anything.
Right.
I always assist them with food, but you know that talking to you about this topic makes me want to do more. At least tell them about Jesus, and at least maybe pray for them. But I find myself thinking, I said, I don't even do nothing. I don't do as much as I should.
I heard that.
So a lot of us oftentimes do that. We'll give them something to eat, but we just go on about our lives. We don't try to help them get a better life or get to know Jesus. Well, some people do. I'm not speaking for everybody. Some people, witness to the homeless. But me, I'm talking about me. I give them something to eat, but I don't say nothing else.
Well, you know what's commendable about that is you know it.
Yes, and I have the compassion.
Right, and there's a lot of people that do less than that.
Right.
And don't want to own up to doing less than that.
They
I didn't walk
up
over
their
him.
Nose and walk by.
I spoke. You know, it's a bunch of people. So I really commend you for that, because you will be so surprised how many of these guys will receive it. You'll be surprised. I mean, it's like I come from there, and I'm wondering. I'm wondering. You sure you all right with what I'm saying to you? And there's so many of these guys that are like, man, why you ain't been said that?
Okay, yeah.
You know,
they want it. They want conversation and engagement and help.
And help. And it's not like, see, we can look at all this other stuff going on in this society today, and we'll say the take the insurrectionists for instance. We'll say something like, okay, those types of people exist, but there are also these types of people on this side. Some like Trump, some don't. However that go, it's gonna always be the other side. The other side exists. I don't care what you do, but we refuse to say that about these guys in our neighborhoods. Only side we give them is he's so destructive. She so this. She no better than them shorts. You know, we don't say that. Well, some of them young women that live in them projects are some really good women, some really potential wife. You know, we don't say the other side of nothing in street life. Nothing about street life when we're referring to it do we say the other side. You know, even those of us who know the other side exists.
It's like we judge, but we don't do
Right.
nothing to help. We just sit
You
back
know?
and watch and judge.
Yeah.
But today we want
Right.
to go forward. We want to do more. We want to encourage you, our audience, our viewers, to do
Right.
more. When you see people out just in the street life, don't just sit back and talk about them. Do something.
Right.
Let's do something. All of us, we all have something to do. The Great Commission is go out, go ye therefore out into the world.
All right.
A lot of people say, well, we helping the ones that come to church, but that's not really what God said. God said go out
All right.
and help people and go make disciples and tell people about Jesus. You may think people know about Jesus, but they know about God.
All right.
But they may not know about Jesus. So we want people to know that there's people that care.
Right. All right. And see, it's such a stigma from the people who live that lifestyle towards certain religions, spiritualities, and so forth. That's because nobody is taking the time to get to know nobody. If you think they're against Christians, hey, you got God. Go on in there. They got to deal with that. Let them not like what they don't like. Your job is to deliver.
Right.
And that's what me and my sister gonna try to do here today. All we can do is give it. You can not like me. You can call me pie. You can call me soft. However that go. My only job, as my sister said, is to go out unto those that I'm paraphrasing, but as I go out to those who may or may not know what I know, but live the same and struggle the same as I have, I'm feeling responsible for saying, hey man,
We are.
you can do this.
We
You can do
very much
something
are.
else. Bro, all I know is drug gang. Bro, it take this right here and this right here to do what you're doing, so you can do that over here and not have to worry about going to prison or getting killed for it. So it's our responsibility when we know
is.
that possibility exists. We can't just be over here living good ourselves. When I know it took, and I can't do it because I'm still living off of their backs. You know, for me to be writing this kind of stuff and not living it no more, I'm living off their backs.
Right. And it's for everybody. Because a lot of times people say, well, I'm not a drug addict. I've never been homeless. I don't know how to deal with street people. Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
The same way you deal with a people.
That's right. They're human. They're human people who need Jesus and who need to know how to be saved and how to live a life of wholeness.
Exactly. And it ain't about who you like. If they don't like Jesus, okay, but I'm gonna tell you something about him though.
Right,
You
plant
go
that
from
seed.
there. You know, I know look at what you're looking at. You know.
It's all about not looking down on people. You know, we all are human, whether we're up here or we're down here.
Right.
We all are human, and people need to be loved.
And mind you, God is not a respecter of humans. He's not
Jesus
a
is
respecter of
love.
people. You don't. God don't care about your status. He don't care that you the president. He don't care that you the guy under the Staples Center. You know, and that's how we got to start acting towards one another. We got to start understanding, you know, I don't care if you bigger than me, I don't care if you better than me or whatever it is, I respect you and I'm going to talk to you like that. And, you know, we not sitting here relieving the downtrodden of their responsibilities now, you know, because in that society, there's a lot of stuff done that's unnecessary. So I'm not gonna sit here and act like y'all, we okay for dropping out of school. We
Right,
we
right.
got responsibility too in that lifestyle, because certain things we do reaps what we have to go through. Ain't that so?
And God can use anybody.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, He
yeah.
can use anybody.
Yeah.
Like in the Bible, there's who?
Let's take Judas.
Okay.
Because the interesting thing to me now, I don't want to upset anybody because we live in a society today where
People are real
yeah,
sensitive.
one word, man, you can't talk no more in your life. You got to walk around at home not talking. So I'm trying to be careful here. But the interesting thing about Judas to me is people don't realize had Judas not been who he was, what you think it'll be today. Judas had to cross
That
Jesus.
had to be done. It was all planned.
Yeah.
It was in God's plan.
So how would you think a person would take it when you say Judas was doing the will of God too?
Because, see, God made bad and good. He made bad and evil.
So-
There were two trees in the
Yeah.
garden, one of good and one of evil. God made them both.
So I mean that kind of to me would indicate somebody who is just so rigid in their beliefs, and usually the people who are so rigid like that in their beliefs are stem from their own comfort. Their own comfort, not the truth. I ain't saying
And they think Satan created everything
Right,
that happens bad.
Yeah, so it's like
that is everything happens for the will of God.
yeah. So when you say that, it's hard for some of us to say, oh, when you think about it, okay, Judas was necessary too. So you can't say that to anybody because you will be saying something different they'll be hearing something different than what you're saying. And the thing about that is you have to, like in our society, people are so bent on being comfortable that comfort means so many different things to them that may not mean to somebody else. Comfort to some people mean loud.
I'm very loud.
And if that's comfort, that's comfort. But can you live in the same space with somebody who's very quiet?
Right. Yeah.
So that's what make your loud okay. Anything you can do if you can respect it from somebody else, you got that right. That's just opinionated, and if somebody is with me and I'm wrong for asking them to talk to me a certain way and not, get so aggressive when they talk to me, that means I'm obligated to do that with them if I'm asking them for that. But if I can let them say anything they want to and spew how they want to spew, then they got to be able to respect it coming back. But so many of us stray from that principle that it's so hard to respect somebody else. Can't nobody, for those of us who ain't never, now mind you, I ain't condoning the sagging thing too far, But what I'm saying is, if the person doing that can't understand somebody else got the right not to like it, you ain't got the right to like it. We got to learn.
Well, we live in a society where anything goes.
Anything goes.
Anything goes, don't say nothing to me. I'm doing what I want to do. But as a Christian, like we were saying earlier, you have to tell people what's right, what's the right way and what's the wrong way.
Right.
And it's up to them to later on receive it.
Right.
And some people don't receive from everybody.
That's exactly right. And
Like me, I feel like I have a calling to certain groups of people.
Oh yeah.
But the commission is for every group. But certain people have certain ones that they can relate
That's
to.
what I'm fixing to say.
And feel like God has led you to that particular group.
That's exactly what I'm going to say. See, the people you go to are probably those that your skill set reaches quicker, and I think that's how it's supposed to be. I think you're supposed to do that.
I thank God that He has given me the ability to reach the low class and the high class.
Yeah. That's
And
that's
I
great.
thank him for that, because I don't mind going digging down and giving you a hug and you're dirty and stinky. Because I was on drugs for 10 years. I didn't have the best of clothes, and sometimes I might have been out for 3 days. But there was somebody that reached me.
Yeah.
So I have that compassion to pay it forward. To go back and say, hey, even though you don't look clean or whatever, I still can embrace you and give you a hug and give you some clean clothes and show you where you can go and get shelter and take a bath.
Yeah.
So that's what we're trying to reach people today, letting them know about the street life and have a better understanding of when you see somebody, how to react to them. Because everybody needs a helping hand, especially those that are in the streets.
And I think what also will help street elements, men and women, I think the thing that'll really help them is to let them know how valuable what they already are and what they already have is.
Oh, yes.
Because I know guys, I've encountered guys let's take women. I've encountered some women, because I've always been an easy guy to talk to. So people tell me inner things. So I met a girl who she's never seen her mom not high. She's never seen her mom not in the grimiest atmosphere. She's never seen her mom in a church, on a job, at her school, so on and so forth. And I asked her, I was like, being the person that I am, I'm always curious. I'm wondering, I'm looking at the deeper. I'm wondering, how do you do this? And this where you come from? Because the girl wasn't nothing like that.
Okay.
She wasn't rude. She was compassionate. She was strong. She worked, smart. If you sat her in a center of any college campus, you would never believe where she came from.
She could be able to have a conversation.
And then her image, she just looked like, you just can't look at her and say she come from poverty, because she just don't, she's not, her shoulders don't slump, her shoulders is up and back, like it's
A very intelligent young lady.
I know where you come from. How do you do that? So I asked her, because I saw that kind of stuff. So I'm like, I know the stuff you come from, but you walk straight up. You ain't rude. You don't every word out your mouth. Your neck ain't moving. How do you do that? She looked the same way that anybody can do anything in life. She said, I'm from God, not the projects.
Okay. See, that makes a
I
difference.
said, oh, my.
That makes a difference.
Okay.
That makes a difference. She knows who she is.
So it don't matter that she was in the same stuff that I was in, and I'm watching how it affects so many different people. And I don't know if she ever had that conversation with anybody. Because she was you could tell when you say something to somebody and they continue to talk about it. After you done got the response you want, and they continue, second.
Her heart was in it.
She really wanted to say all this stuff. So the stuff she said, I said all that to tell the street element, what you have is already valuable. And take the word conglomerate, for instance. In my story, you got 7 brothers. The 2 eldest are twins, and the 2 eldest their mom was a stockbroker, a Georgia stockbroker. Their dad was a Georgia kingpin. And they was killed in a plane crash, and one of the twins takes the mom's characteristics, one take the dad. And they joined forces with a prostitution ring. They hired Bloods, Crips, and Disciples. Now,
don't get too much away of the book now.
Okay.
But go ahead.
Now, mind you, the objective of that happening was to show the same objective of any conglomerate. You got a group of businesses.
Okay.
Blood, Crips, and Disciples, and the prostitution ring. Got a group of businesses. All those are businesses. But our society don't tell these people that they are a brand. Our society, you know, with the understanding of the purpose of these gangs, the original purpose, not today's purpose, not because it look good with what I got on, or because this girl like Bloods, or that girl like Crips, all them other different reasons. Not that reason. The original reason, as these guys are actually assigned to protect our communities from dirty police, not from police, dirty police. Okay, so but what it's turned into today is ridiculous. I mean, ain't no organization, ain't no respect in it. That's why our society looks at it like this, which goes back to the point I made about you responsible too. When you act like this right here and society see that, they ain't got no choice but to thank you like that right there, because that's what they see. Now, y'all know that this is the case. You know that this is the case. So why don't you show something that you want somebody to think of you as? If you want somebody to think of you as a nothing, present yourself as nothing. And that's what you've been doing. You know, so when you understand that you are a brand, you are the conglomerate. Blood, Crips, Disciples, Prostitution Ring. Those are 4 businesses that will make a conglomerate. So when we realize that when we start telling ourselves this about our street life, and it probably won't sink in tomorrow morning. But after you nag and you handle yourself like that, the same way with our relationship with this country, the same way you've been digging to be whatever you are for the past 400 years, that's how it catches on. That's how you got here. For 400 years ago, not yesterday. You ain't start that journey yesterday. It's the same way with the streets. If we start today and start addressing each other and start handling each other as though this is our brand, your street gangs won't get treated with such disdain from their community. Your rappers won't get treated like that. They don't even know they're a brand. Yeah, so many of them scream it, but if they knew they was a brand, they'll be thinking about their children eating off of it. You know, I don't.
That's good.
Yeah.
I consider myself a brand, you know, and I think everybody should,
And
you know,
you serious about
and
yours.
promote themselves
Just saw you.
as who they are.
I just saw your work. You serious about yours. You do believe your brand, and you acting like it. So that's what makes a better brand, is that you treat it like, hey, man, this is something serious, you know? And we don't know how to do that because don't nobody tell us about it. Now, in these stories, what I do is I talk about the nothing, the superficial. I talk about the big rims. I talk about the ice, all that good stuff. Talk about that
What
too.
is the ice?
The drip and all that. I thought I like all that. I'm like the next guy. I like all that good stuff. That's all well and good, but that ain't where you stop. See, some of us get the drip, or some of us get a $20 million, and I made it. Made it where? Where'd you make it to? You ain't, cause this right here didn't move. You know, you use some of that money, you got to a better house or whatever like that, but where'd you go?
Yes. That's very interesting. I hope you all go out and check out, you know, his book called Street Conglomerate. Where can they get your book?
Okay, you can reach me at my email at calvinf125@gmail.com. The book is also on Amazon. I get a shipment myself. And you can reach me through my email or my Facebook page, Kalvin Fleming, author Didymus. And again, I give shout outs to Ebony Dawn Starks, the CEO at Writer's Block Publishing.
Okay,
and you can also reach her and get the books.
Okay, awesome.
That's my
awesome. I
publishing
hope
company.
you all go out and read about it. It's what, nonfiction?
It's fiction.
A fiction, but it's based on
True elements.
true life experiences, you know. So I hope that we can, you know, encourage our viewers to just have a better understanding and outlook on street life.
Right. It's part of life.
It's part of life.
That's how come the word is life behind it. Street life is life as well as college life, as well as any other life.
That's right. We all are humans, and so hopefully we can we can love each other more, reach out more. And Calvin, I want you to pray for our audience. Can
Okay.
you do that?
I'll do that. I'll be happy to do that. All right. Bow our heads in the name of Jesus. Oh God, I come to you right now. I come to you, God, giving thanks. First of all, I come to you, God, asking that you protect those listening to this. I ask, God, that you guide those and direct their ears, God, that they take out of this what they need and what can benefit them and their spirits, God. I pray that you also keep me, God, keep me humble and grounded, that I may reach out to those of us who are seeking you and be of service to them, myself, and most of all you. Thank you, God. In Jesus' name I pray.
Amen. Amen. Such a beautiful prayer. And I thank you so much for coming on the show.
And I thank you, Angela.
You have been a true blessing.
I can't believe this. I just commend you because I know this is probably not your target market, and it took so much.
Life issues is my target market.
Okay.
That's why you're here, because God chose you to come and be on Fabulous.
Okay.
So you guys remember, you are fabulous. Bye-bye, everybody.
All right.
All right. Thank you.
All right.